Hello all. Today's topic is sedative and hypnotics. Introduction. A good refreshing sleep is necessary for a healthy life, and we can say that sleep is regarded as the absence of wakefulness in which response to an environmental stimuli are reduced. Natural sleep is regulated by biological clock in hypothalamus through circadian rhythm that maintain the normal daily sleep awake cycle. During a sleep, there is a restoration of the natural balance among the neuronal center in the brain. So we can say that natural restoration is produced during a sleep time. Sleep is can be categorized into a two type. First is an REM sleep, non-rapid eye movement sleep. It can further categorize into different stages. Stage 0, that is from lying down to falling asleep. Stage 1, eye movement are less and the body muscle begin to relax. Stage 2, eye movement are further reduced but person is still easily arousable. Stage 3, deeper sleep with minimum eye movement and person cannot easily arousable. And stage 4, it is a deepest level of sleep. In this stage metabolic rate is slow and the growth hormone secretion is highest. So the an REM sleep is categorized in stage 0 to stage 4. Out of this, stage 3 and stage 4, the stage 3 and stage 4 together are called as a delta or slow wave sleep. It is an refreshing sleep. Decrease in this sleep stage 3 or stage 4, or we can say that the decrease in a delta sleep or a slow wave sleep can lead to an poor quality sleep. So this is an REM category. Second is REM rapid eye movement category. It is mainly concerned with, it is associated with dreaming, enhanced heart rate, breathing and brain activity, and there is a relaxation of voluntary muscles. So sleep is categorized in this two category. Now comes to what is an insomnia. It is a sleeplessness or a poor quality sleep which could lead to undesirable daytime consequences. It may be a primary where there is a no any specific causes there, or it can be a secondary. It is due to variety of clinical condition like medical or psychiatric illness, due to stress or due to drug induced. And when we can say that if the person having poor quality sleep, they need a medication, and for the treatment of insomnia, those drugs which are used, they are known as a sedative and hypnotics. So what is sedative and what is hypnotic? Most of the time we are using it interchangeably, but there is some difference in both the terminology. Sedative is a drugs that reduces the excitement, calm the patient, and it may produce drowsiness. While hypnotic is a drug that induces sleep, which is as like as a natural sleep. So here we can say that the sedative, they can reduce the excitement, they can calm down the patient. So mainly in case of anxiety disorder, they are used for that purpose. While hypnotics, when the person having some abnormality in a sleep pattern, there is some insomnia, to treat that hypnotics were used. In short, we can say both are considered as an CNS depressant. They were classified. There are different category of drugs which are used. Benzodiazepine. They further categorized on the basis of the therapeutic uses. Those which are used as an hypnotics like diazepam, lorazepam, flurazepam, nitrazepam, temazepam, alprazolam, and trazolone. Those which are used as an anti-anxiety like diazepam, lorazepam, clonazepam, oxazepam, chlordiazepoxide, and alprazolam. Anticonvulsants, diazepam, clonazepam, and lorazepam, and those which are used as a muscle relaxant is diazepam. So, but benzodiazepine can categorize either according to their uses, hypnotic, anti-anxiety, anticonvulsant, or muscle relaxant, or they can be categorized on the basis of their duration of action. Some of them are shorter acting, intermediate acting, or a longer acting. Group is non-benzodiazepines. Zopiclone is zopiclone, zolpidem, and zolpidem. So they are non-benzo. They produce action similar as a benzodiazepine, but they are different than the benzodiazepine derivatives. Others like melatonin, ramiltion, and suvorexant. While barbiturates, they are the oldest sedative and hypnotics, longer acting phenobarbital, shorter acting pentobarbital, and ultra shorter acting thiopentone. So in today's session we discuss two major groups. One is barbiturate and another one is benzodiazepine. First is barbiturate. Barbiturates were the popular sedative hypnotic of last century up to 1960, but they are not used now to promote a sleep because of better alternatives were available like benzodiazepine or non-benzodiazepines which are better than the barbiturate. So the use of barbiturate were reduced. Another thing which is associated with the barbiturate, they are known as a general depressant for all excitable cells of CNS. Means those cells which are excitable, they are suppressed with the barbiturate. Regarding the mechanism of action, as we have already discussed it out in an introduction of CNS, barbiturate basically bind to a specific site on a GABA receptor chloride channel complex. Here we can see that it is a pentameric structure is there where a chloride channel is there. So the different substance were bind to this receptor channel and there is a stimulation and that leads to an opening of chloride channel. So barbiturate bind to this specific receptor on this GABA chloride channel complex. After binding of barbiturate, it can facilitate the binding of GABA through its own site. So the release inhibitory neurotransmitter GABA bind with this receptor. Binding of GABA leads to uh, opening of chloride channel. So total duration of opening of chloride channel is prolonged with the binding of GABA. So duration is prolonged and that leads to hyperpolarization of the membrane. When the phenobarbital or barbiturates when they were given at a higher doses, barbiturate can directly open up the chloride channel or we can say that there is increased conduction of chloride channel and it produce as a effect as a GABA. So we can see that at lower doses it facilitates the GABA action but at higher doses it mimic the action of GABA. This action, the mimicking effect of barbiturate is different than the benzodiazepine, where the benzodiazepine having only GABA facilitatory action. Regarding their pharmacological action, majority of action is mainly associated on a central nervous system. So in hypnotic doses, barbiturate induces a sleep and it can prolong the duration of sleep. Sleep cycle is altered by decreased duration of REM sleep and prolong the NREM sleep. When the person is wake up, so it produce hangover due to residual depression of the CNS. It produces hangover and residual sedation. There is a sedative doses can also reduce the anxiety and excitability, and along with that it can also impair the learning. There is a reduction impairment of short-term memory and judgment. So we can consider that when the barbiturate were administered to produce uh, prolong the sleep cycle, but along with that this can be considered as an adverse drug reaction of barbiturate. Hangover, uh, sedation on the next, residual sedation, impairment of learning, short-term memory is reduced, reduction in a judgment, all this can be considered as an adverse drug reaction. At higher dose, phenobarbital uh, produce anticonvulsant effect. So that anticonvulsant dose of phenobarbital is independent of general depressant action. So generalized CNS depressant effect cannot produce with the phenobarbital, and due to that reason phenobarbital is only helpful for the treatment of epilepsy or as an anticonvulsant agent. Other action at higher dose, all barbiturate can produce a respiratory depression. So this can also be considered as an adverse effect of phenobarbital. Regarding the pharmacokinetic parameters, barbiturate are well absorbed and widely distributed in the body. The highly lipid soluble barbiturate like thiopentone have a fast onset of action with duration of action is short. That is due to redistribution into an adipose tissue. They are known as an hepatic microsomal enzyme inducer drug. So they are likely to produce various drug-drug interaction. So these are the adverse drug reaction: hangover, mental confusion, impaired performance, and respiratory depression. So that all this effect is because they having generalized CNS depressant effect. They can what are their effect on tolerance and dependence? When barbiturate were given on repeated administration, tolerance is developed with the phenobarbital. This is one of the reasons that the use of barbiturate for the as a sedative hypnotic is reduced, and there is a development of psychological and physical dependence to barbiturate which make them one of the drug with an abuse liability. So this thing, due to development of tolerance and the having ability to produce abuse liability, and along with that there are various adverse drug reactions were produced, the use of barbiturate were reduced. Regarding the therapeutic uses, because of respiratory depression and abuse liability, barbiturate are generally not preferred for a sedative and hypnotics. They are used for induction of general anesthesia. For that thiopentone is used, and they can used as an antiepileptic where the phenobarbital is a drug of choice. One of the main indication is on neonatal jaundice. Phenobarbital is known as a microsomal enzyme inducer, because of which it enhances the production of glucuronide transferase enzyme. This is the enzyme which is required for the metabolism and excretion of bilirubin. So it is helpful in a treatment of neonatal jaundice. Second group, benzodiazepines. Benzodiazepines act as a GABA facilitatory action. They produce multiple action. They having anti-anxiety effect, they having anti-convulsant effect. They also facilitate sleep, so having sedative effect as well. They can also suppress the muscle tone. So we can say that they produce a multiple action with the benzodiazepine. How they produce this effect? Their mechanism of action. Benzodiazepine act on the benzodiazepine receptor on a GABA chloride channel complex. So this is a complex where these are the barbiturate binding site, these are the GABA binding site, and here there is a binding site for a benzodiazepine. So benzodiazepine act on a benzodiazepine receptor. But once it bind with the receptor site, it increase GABA binding site. So more GABA is bind to its receptor. Increase GABA binding can increase the opening of chloride channel or increase the chloride channel conduction, and that produce a hyperpolarization. So we can say that it can facilitate the GABA action, but it cannot increase. Benzodiazepine cannot directly open up the chloride channel, but to open up the chloride channel, GABA receptor must be occupied with the GABA. So we can say that they having only GABA facilitatory action. There is a no GABA mimetic action. This effect explains that there is a lower ceiling CNS depressant effect of benzodiazepine in comparison with the barbiturate, where the barbiturate with a higher dose they may produce a GABA mimetic effect. Regarding their pharmacological action on the CNS, the oral action of all benzodiazepine is similar, but the difference is in their selectivity for a different action and in their duration of action, how much time they produce their action. Different members, they are used for a different purpose. We can say that in contrast to barbiturate, they are not a general depressant, but they exert a selective action. Like some of them they are used for anti-anxiety purpose, some of them are used for a hypnotic purpose, some are there as a muscle relaxant, and some produce an anti-convulsant effect. Today we mainly focusing the action of benzodiazepine as an hypnotic. So benzodiazepine is preferred over a barbiturate as an hypnotic. So there are multiple reasons. Here you can see that there are list of reasons on basis of that benzodiazepine were preferred agent for a hypnotic. First is benzodiazepine can induce a sleep which is more closely resemble to our natural sleep and produce a less hangover. This suppress a REM sleep is lesser when comparison with the barbiturate. In a hypnotic doses, they do not affect any respiratory deprivation. Benzodiazepine have a higher margin of safety and are safer than the barbiturate even in an overdose. There is no any microsomal enzyme induction, so there is no alteration on a blood level of other drugs. Benzodiazepine have a lower abuse liability, so dependence and withdrawal symptoms are milder. And in case of benzodiazepine overdose, there is a specific antidote, that is a flumazenil, that can be used to reverse the symptoms of benzodiazepine. So we can say that there are list of advantages which are associated to use benzodiazepine as an hypnotics over a barbiturate, and because of this it is a preferred sedative hypnotics. Regarding the pharmacokinetic parameters, there are marked pharmacokinetic difference among a benzodiazepine because of their lipid solubility, this factor governing their choice for a different use. They are widely distributed in a body and metabolized by the enzyme CYP3A4 and CYP2C10. And drugs with a longer plasma half-life or which generate an active metabolite accumulate and their action may be extended up to a next day. Regarding their adverse drug reaction, benzodiazepine are relatively safe drug. Side effects of hypnotic doses are dizziness and vertigo, amnesia and disorientation, ataxia, and impairment of psychomotor skill. These are the common adverse drug reaction associated with the benzodiazepine. Regarding its tolerance can develop gradually to its sedative effect, and there is no any dependence producing effect uh, as a barbiturate. So due to that, there is no any abuse liability. Now comes to an individual benzodiazepine derivatives. If we can compare them according to their pharmacokinetic parameters and their indication. First, they are categorized as a longer acting and shorter acting. Longer acting flurazepam, it produces an active metabolite which has a long plasma half-life. Plasma half-life is around 50 to 100 hours. So residual effect likely to produce on the next morning. It is suitable for a patient who have a frequent nocturnal awakening, but not for the elderly patient due to risk of next day sedation and mental confusion. It is used in the doses of 50 to 30 milligram per day. Second one is diazepam. It is oldest and all-purpose benzodiazepine with the multiple indication, like it is used for anxiety, hypnotic use, muscle relaxant, and they are also used for control of convulsion. It having rapid oral absorption with a long plasma half-life is 30 to 60 hours. It can be used for the sleep onset difficulty as well as for maintenance of sleep. It is used in a dose of 5 to 10 milligram per day. It is beneficial feature is that it is less likely to cause the rebound insomnia on discontinuation of chronic use. Third one is nitrazepam. Its plasma half-life is longer, that is 30 hours. Accumulation and residual effect can be avoided only if it is ingested occasionally. If it is used regularly, accumulation may lead to residual effect. So if it is used for some purpose for some time on occasional uses, this can be avoided. It is good for a patient with a frequent nocturnal awakening when the some daytime sedation is acceptable. It is used in dose of 5 to 10 milligram. And there is a lorazepam. This is we can see that the absorption of lorazepam is very slow with the plasma half-life is 10 to 12 hours, and it has a prominent sedative and anxiolytic action, because of which it is mainly used for purpose of anxiety. It also used to promote a sleep in an anxious patient with a dose of 1 to 2 milligram. Another beneficial feature of lorazepam is that there is no any active metabolite is produced. So cumulative residual drowsiness is not a problem with the lorazepam. So all these are the longer acting benzodiazepine derivatives. Shorter acting like alprazolam. Primary indication of this is an anxiety. As well, it also used as a nighttime hypnotic due to rapid oral absorption. Its active metabolite has a short half-life. Plasma half-life is 12 hours and it is given in dose of 0.25 to 0.5 milligram. Discontinuation after a regular use may leads to withdrawal phenomenon of with the alprazolam. Other two container, one is temazepam, which having a good sleep onset, good for the person who having a sleep onset difficulty with a given in dose of 10 to 20 milligram. It is beneficial feature is that it is free of residual effect because there is no any active metabolite, or it also having very shorter plasma half life, that is 8 to 12 hours in comparison with the others. And the another one is trazolam, which is a very potent benzodiazepine, required only 0.125 to 0.25 milligram dose. It is also good for a sleep induction but it is poor for us maintenance of sleep. That is because of it having very shorter duration of action. Its plasma half-life is just 1 to 3 hours. So all these are the different individual longer acting and the shorter acting. In general, if we can say that what are their indication? Longer acting basically indicated for the chronic insomnia, short term insomnia with anxiety, frequent nocturnal awakening, and night before a surgery. While shorter acting, they are mainly preferred for a sleep onset difficulty, unfamiliar surrounding, and unusual timing of sleep. These are the major indication of shorter acting and the longer acting benzodiazepine derivatives. It's all about barbiturates and the benzodiazepine. In summary, we can see that when we are talking about the hypnotic drugs, what are the ideal characteristics of hypnotic drugs? If we can see on a basis of pharmacokinetic property, the good hypnotic must having a rapid absorption with no active metabolites. So if active metabolites were not there, residual sleep on a next day morning is also prevented. They also compare if ideal hypnotics on the basis of pharmacodynamic property, they must having rapid sleep induction. They do not produce general CNS depression. They can maintain a sleep and they can improve a daytime function. So on the basis of that, if we can compare barbiturate with benzodiazepine. Benzodiazepine mostly fit in all this category. And as far as their adverse drug reaction or side effects, they cannot produce any residual sedation. There is no any respiratory depression. There is no tolerance, no dependence, and no effect on the memory. So again, benzodiazepine can fit on this category. Some adverse drug reaction are there, but in comparison with the barbiturate, it is lesser one. So we can say that benzodiazepines can fit in most of the above characteristic according to their pharmacokinetic, pharmacodynamic, and the side effects. This is all about benzodiazepine and barbiturate. Remaining group of drugs we discussed in a next class. Thank you.